Thanks for your interest in A Visit from St. Nicholas. If this looks good to you, be sure to check out my other resources on TPT at Miss Cotton's Corner. Also, I'm always putting up new videos for you and for your kiddos on my YouTube channel at Miss Cotton's Corner. And check out my blog for resources and insights to grow your teaching at MissCottonsCorner.com. This resource includes 3 activities: a Mad Lib about the famous poem, a word search, and a reading response about similes. The resource has been updated to include both a PDF and Google Slides, so you're set whether you have kiddos in person or whether you're doing full-time distance learning. Here's what you get. With your purchase, you will get a PDF download that includes all of these pieces. Everything you need to teach students about the parts of speech that they're going to need to complete the Mad Lib. And of course, there are student sheets for them to practice with each part of speech that they'll need. And then go ahead and put them in partnerships and ask them to start filling in the blanks. They'll use these blanks to create their own funny version of A Visit from St. Nicholas, the famous poem by Clement Clarke Moore. I like to have my students read their favorite page out loud to the class and read their whole poem to their partner. That gives them a chance to practice reading out loud. A little fluency never hurts. There is also a word search with an answer key for you, of course, and a simile reading response. Maybe you're doing distance learning, or you'd like to flip your classroom and use a Google Slides version instead of the PDF. That's included too. Right here on the very first page, you just click on the cover, and it will prompt you to make a copy. When you click on the cover in the PDF, it will prompt you to make a copy of A Visit from St. Nicholas by Miss Cotton's Corner. That way you know you have your own copy and nobody else can ever change it. Once you have your copy, I recommend taking out the word copy of and changing it to master. And that's just like in the old days, if you've been doing this as long as I have, we used to keep a master in the filing cabinet. This is your master. You're not going to change this or edit this in any way. That way you can always go back to it and have the complete version when you need it. This is also what I often use to teach from. Although if I'm going to modify it during the lesson, I do make another copy, which I call lesson. Once you have made the master copy, you'll see that the very first slide has a link to this video. So if you forget what to do, you can come right back here very easily. It also tells you what the slide numbers are if you've made a master and you don't change anything. And then it gives you my suggestions for how to use this with your students. I use this digitally. We are all distance learning right now. And I use this digitally with my students and it worked great. You'll also see that all of the same things from the PDF are included in the Google Slides. You have everything you need. My recommendation is to first make a copy of the student sheets that the kids will need for the beginning of the lesson. You're going to teach using slides 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, but they are going to need slides 6 and 7 so that they can do some brainstorming about the parts of speech. Click on slide 6 on the thumbnails, then hold down the Shift key and click on slide 7. That will select both of those slides. Those are the first 2 slides that students will need. Go to File, make a copy of the selected slides. I like to call these slides, because this is what the students will see, I like to call these slides A Visit from St. Nicholas Part 1. Once you've saved that, you'll see that it will make a copy. And now your students will have only the 2 slides that they need for the learning part of the lesson. So as you're teaching them on Zoom or whatever distance learning tool you're going to use, or if you flip your classroom, these are the first 2 slides that they will need. They'll complete the brainstorming and they'll fill in the parts of speech. I did that in breakout rooms, which gave me a chance to post the second part of the lesson in the Google Classroom. I always have 2 kids. If I post everything in the morning, they'll just do it before the lesson. So I have to wait and post it when we need it. The second part that they're going to need, back on the master, is slides 8, 9, 10. That's the poem. You also may want to use the word search. I used that as an asynchronous activity for homework after we did the work in our Zoom classroom. You can see it's all set up for them. They just need to drag the bars. So for example, the word exclaim is one of the words that's taken out of the poem. It's right here, and they can just drag the bar and resize it and highlight the word exclaim on the word search. There's also a red X, which is included so they can cross it off the word list when they're done. I used the simile search the next day as another lesson where we revisited the poem and worked with similes. You probably have a lot of great ideas about how to use this too. I really appreciate your interest in this resource. Again, if this looks good to you, you can grab it on TPT at Ms. Cotton's Corner. Also, find my blog at mscottonscorner.com and teacher tips and videos for students on my YouTube channel at Ms. Cotton's Corner. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful holiday.